Hey guys, welcome back to BD Rambles. I hope you've had an amazing day or you're having an amazing day wherever you are in the world. I'm really excited about this episode, so let's get into it. Hey, how are you? Thank you for coming back to the channel. It's really lovely to have you here. I'm just going to keep this really high energy and hopefully keep your focus because I'm really passionate about this subject and I really think that you should be too, because it is something to really take with you. It really transforms your life, and if you can just nail this, then you can pretty much nail relationships and that connection with people. It breaks everything down. So today what I really want to talk to you about is vulnerability. I've watched loads on this recently, especially I don't know if you've heard of Brené Brown, but she's amazing, incredible. And I watched one of her TED Talks once, and I've seen her on various other things with Russell Brand as well over on his podcast. I really recommend that you go and check her out because she tells stories about being vulnerable that will really resonate with you and hopefully make you think like I did and make you want to grow and change. But one thing that she did say that was really important to me was the stories that we make in our head. And I think this is really important to just try and locate in your own mind to understand yourself. One, because obviously there are things that are taught, we are taught. So from our parents, it's very much environmental. We have beliefs. Are they really our beliefs? Like, who knows? I think that if you really looked into it, a lot of the beliefs that you have to your core actually aren't yours. They come from your parents or your grandparents, or maybe someone around you who's got quite a strong character and you don't really know how to put your opinion across in front of them. So you just don't really say much, and maybe you take on their opinions too. But this thing that she said was, we make up stories in our own head. And what she means by that is we can be having an argument with someone and we can automatically assume that they mean something else because the story in our head has created this massive dramatic scene. We've created the worst case scenario. We've made ourselves believe that it's true. And instead of just asking the person that we've had this confrontation with or this discussion or this argument and allow ourselves to be vulnerable in that moment and just say, look, like when you said this, I felt this way. What did you really mean? Because you have to understand people are raised differently. People have different backgrounds, different cultures as well. Like there are so many things that ways that we could interpret someone. You make a judgment of this argument and you're trying to understand everything that's going on, what they've said, what you've said. Take a step back from it. There's the saying by the Buddha, isn't there, that you should watch the river run you by nice and gently and view that as your emotions and do not step into that river because the clarity comes from standing beside it. You're not involved in the currents that are going to pull you under and make you feel submerged in that emotional carnage, basically. And the best part comes next, because once you then have a discussion with the person that you've had this conflict with and you see that actually they were just trying to say something that you had simply overlooked because your rage blinded you. And don't get me wrong, some people may just be arseholes and they might have just pissed you off. They might be arrogant and they might be, rightly so, you might have to shout at them or whatever. But even then in that situation, if you can step back from the river and you can look at it, calm yourself down, you can really take a moment to yourself and really think about what the best thing for your higher self is going forward. Is it to keep arguing with this person day in, day out, and there's no growth there? Or is it actually better just to walk away from them? Or is it that you can talk about something? Is it that you were overlooking it? Is it that you were jumping in too much? Is it that they were jumping in too much? Maybe they need to be told. But vulnerability is so important, and I feel bad for guys because they're just not taught to be vulnerable. And we take the piss out of each other, especially we're British. I'm British. Sorry, not you necessarily, but I'm British, so we're worse. God, we don't really talk about much. We're quite shielded with our emotions. Really, we don't really talk unless it's to close people, maybe. But guys are really raised to be don't be a pussy. Like, you're meant to be the man here, whatever. Like, and then they're raised and they don't know how to be vulnerable and talk. And it's like they see vulnerability as a weakness, and it's just not a weakness. It's insane that people think that. So the key point of this as well as being vulnerable is trying to be more self-aware. In these moments, when they happen so fast that you really will not have a chance to think about not stepping in the river. You'll be like, right, where's my fucking paddle? I'm going. Like, you just want to jump in because it's your natural instinct, it's your natural gut feeling to want to jump in and defend yourself. But what you're doing is you're doing yourself a disservice, because one, you could actually be making yourself look really stupid for no reason, because of the story that your brain has told you that actually you have no clarification on yet. Two, actually it hurts you. That probably should have been number one, but like, it hurts you to jump in and be emotional like this and rage so much. Or even if someone has been unjust and they have hurt you, even when you jump in, then you know you're causing yourself all this pain, because unfortunately the fact they hurt you in the first place probably indicates that they don't really feel much empathy towards you, so that they didn't really feel like they have to really apologize anyway. So you're hurting yourself more by trying to get reassurance from them and some level of comfort from them that you're really not going to get from them. So really try to be self-aware. That's one key thing before stepping in. Don't step in that river. Let it pass you by. But the self-awareness is just acknowledging that you feel like really shit, or you feel yourself about to bite. Take a deep breath, bring it back, try to figure out what has actually happened and what your brain is telling you has happened. Come to some level ground, let yourself relax for a minute, because you may actually well see that they are not the problem. Maybe the way you are reacting to it is. And you also may see that they are the problem and it's not a positive influence for your life. And in those situations, it's really, really fucking difficult. And I know because I've been there before, but you have to walk away from those situations because they do not serve you. They do not help you grow in your life. So vulnerability, be vulnerable with the people that you love. Open up to them. Try to figure out where the breakdown's coming from. If they don't respond well to your vulnerability, then they probably aren't worth, or no, they definitely aren't worth being in your life, because they're not willing to be vulnerable with you. You could always explain to someone the reason why you need them to be vulnerable with you. And if they're still not willing to be vulnerable with you to help you grow and understand their perspective, then I really don't feel like that is a growth person. That's not a growth mindset really to have in your relationship. It's not going to serve you going forward, because you want to be with someone who inspires you and makes you feel like you're both going forward together, because there are going to be times in your relationship where things do break down, and actually you might need to turn to each other and have a conversation about how you both really feel, and it needs to be real. I feel like a lot of people are getting more real with each other in relationships now, but there is a whole world of just games, just mind games and cheating and lies that is just doesn't need to exist. It's once those people realize that they are insecure and they don't need to seek what they're trying to find outside of themselves, they realize they had it the whole time. You don't understand that statement until you understand that statement. So yeah, be vulnerable with people. Like, just be open, be loving, be vulnerable with people. Don't be afraid. Like, don't get so defensive. Don't worry so much. Just try and be lighthearted and open. If something is bugging you, then try and get to the core of it in a rational, calm, cool, collected kind of way. Be the person that you would be proud to be seen having that conversation. If you saw one of your friends handling a situation that you were in the same way with calmness, with confidence, seeking clarity, you would be proud of your friend for doing that. So be that person that you really aspire to be like when you're thinking about the best way to handle an argument or a confrontation. It feels explosive sometimes, and even when you know you should walk away, say it was a complete stranger that came up to you, you don't be vulnerable with a stranger, you don't even have to be. It's choosing not to step into that river of emotion because it hurts you. And that person is so low in their vibrational energy that they're not even worth it, mate. Just leave them at the fucking door and see you later. So vulnerability is the self-awareness there as well. It's really important to be aware of how you feel as soon as it happens, because you are going to have seconds to react. Be vulnerable, break it down, and there's always a resolve. Whether the resolve is positive or negative, it depends how you want to look at it. Like I say, if it's a negative influence in your life, just that he's plucking out and throwing away, your long-term self is going to be thinking that's a really positive thing, even if your short-term self right now, in this present moment, this person right here thinks, it's too painful. Growth is so painful. Change and growth is one of the most painful things that you can go through, but that is why it grows you. That is why you need it. There is no other way for you to evolve your soul consciously. Like, you've got this though, so don't fucking worry about it. Like, you've got this, and when you feel like you haven't got it, I want you to come back to this channel and watch something where I've posted some shit about something that's real to me, I'm passionate about, and I hope that can help you. I'm going to keep putting these videos out. I really hope that this has resonated with at least just one of you out there. That is why I'm doing this. I'm going through this whole journey myself right now, and I'm not telling you anything that I am not working on myself, and I think that's really important. I'm not going to sit here and preach something at you that I have not tried or I'm not trying to do myself. I am not perfect, but I'm growing as well, and I'd really love it if you left some comments just to tell me your viewpoints on what I've spoken about and experiences you might have had. Like, I'd love to build this online community, so please get in contact. Let's have a discussion, let's have a chat. For now, though, take care, and I will speak to you in the next video. Bye.